Yo, what is up? It is your boy Skylar Game Time Diddy Verts, aka this week the UFC Hot Streaker, and we are back with another episode of the Weekend Moneymakers podcast. Man, I know it's been a few weeks. We had an early UFC card the one week, which y'all don't really tune into stuff like that. Only real primetime junkies for the sport like I be up at like 4 a.m. to watch those fights, so I didn't know. I mean, give me feedback, y'all. Do y'all want episodes on fights like that? There ain't much else going on. We got the NBA Finals, which I do have an NBA Finals bet for y'all tonight. We riding Spurs heavy. I don't see them losing both games at home. We going with the Spurs tonight, just a heads up. And I'm going to break down the card for UFC tomorrow. We do have a big episode next week for the UFC Freedom Fight card. UFC The White House, y'all already know. It's going to be action-packed. I got a couple guests coming on. We're going to break it down like we did our last big fight card where we went 12 for 13. So make sure y'all tune in. You're not going to want to miss the plays. We're looking to make big money off this next card next week. But for now, we're going to get into this week's UFC. We got UFC Fight Night 118, Muhammed versus Bonfim, man. That's going to be a good fight. Just a little bit of foreshadowing. There's gonna be some crazy things that go on in this card for me. We're gonna start with the prelims. There's only a couple prelim fights that I really like, so I'm only gonna cover probably like 3 or 4 of the prelim fights, and then we're gonna jump into the main card. So first fight of the night, I like the Souza and Carnelossi fight. Souza, she has decent takedown game, which is enough. Hold on, give me 1 second. Let me fix this for y'all real quick. Which is enough to win this fight, and she has decent head movement. She can stay clear of the heavy shots, and that's really all you got to do with Carnelossi. She's real predictable. Like, she loads up her shots. She throws big shots, but you could tell they're coming, you know what I'm saying? But her takedown defense, terrible, god-awful, which is really going to hurt her in this fight. She's coming off of a 3-fight loss streak, and the reason she's losing is because she's getting smothered. You can't get your hands off if you can't get your back off the ground. And I think she's going to run into that again with this Souza fight. So my pick in that fight is Souza by decision. We'll move on to the next fight of the evening. We got Levitt versus Brito. Now, I think I'm going to take a shot on a dog here in Levitt. He's not as strong as a striker as Brito. Like, he doesn't have the same power. But I do feel he's the better striker when it comes to landing shots and accuracy. But what he really has that's going to make a difference in this is he's a really nasty grappler. He has good jiu-jitsu, and he doesn't let people get back to their feet. Like, when he's on you like glue. When he gets you to the ground, you're going to stay there. And I think that's kind of good in a fight like this where he's going up against Brito, who gives up a lot of takedowns, and he has troubles, like, getting stuck in certain spots when it's on the ground. But in all honesty, if the fight does stay on its feet, if Levitt doesn't decide to do what's in his favor and keep him to the ground, there is a good chance that Brito gets a knockout here, but I honestly don't see that happening. I see Levitt going into his bag and just doing what he knows he's good at and really just keeping it on Brito. And so I'm going to take Levitt by submission in that one. At the end of the video, I'm going to give you all a couple plays, man. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. We got some nasty plays. I know I didn't drop the episode last week, but we smacked the last 2 fights of the day. I had perfect reads on the first round underdog upset on the knockout, smacked. And on the submission for the main event, dude, if you know anything about Davison Figueiredo, when he gets hurt, he's going to panic shoot. I bet the submission. He jumped his neck when he panic shot after taking a few shots, grabbed him up, moved him out of there. But on to the next fight. We got Silva versus Charez. Oh, this is a tough one for me. Bruno Silva, he's dangerous, man. He has been dropping fights as of late, but he's been fighting really good comp. So it's like you can't really fault him when he's fighting some of the top guys. So he may not be at that caliber, but I feel like his step in competition goes downwards in this one when he's going down to Charez's level. He's nasty. He's fast on the feet. He has good wrestling. And then you got somebody like Charez who does have a reach advantage. He will be the better grappler, but he'll have to be able to get Silva down, and that's going to be the tall task. With Silva being a good wrestler, he's going to be able to fight off those takedowns and like not let Charas get to the grappling game. You know what I mean? So if he can keep him on his feet, I do see Bruno Silva dropping him in this fight. I do like either Silva by points or Silva knockout. We'll move on to the main event. So those are my ones for the prelims, man. Let's see. We got Barnowski versus Tafa. This is a no-brainer. They're both nasty strikers. They hit hard. They both hit like a truck. But the same thing, like when we talk about Tafa, every time we talk about Tafa, the main thing that has to come to your mind is this dude is a can when it comes to getting to the ground. When he gets put on his back, it's over. When he can't strike, it's over. His wrestling is terrible. His defensive grappling, terrible. And honestly, Baranowski came out in an interview earlier and said he has a plan to get Tafa out of there without him ever being able to touch him. And that screams shoot and take down sub. I mean, as much as Baranowski does have the KO power, he can't let his ego get the best of him and make him think that he could strike with Tafa. Because we've seen in the last fight, somebody who tries to strike with Tafa going to go night-night. And I don't think Baranowski is going to be that guy to be an idiot like that. I do see him going and taking him in the first round, getting him to the ground, and getting his neck. So we're going to go Baranowski sub. Now we'll move on to Luna and Mitchell, man. This one worries me for the simple fact that I've seen Bryce Mitchell before the scales, and dude looks like skin and bones. He looks like he's really tired himself out for this one. He might look better after rehydrating going into tomorrow, but what we know about Mitchell is he's a really nasty wrestler, and he's even better at jiu-jitsu. Dude came up with a new submission that nobody's ever used before, and you've started to see it emerge in places after he released a tutorial video. Like, to create your own move in jiu-jitsu that is lethal like the way that he did, it's pretty impressive, man. So, and he's going up against a guy, he's undefeated. He does have a good power advantage, and this is his debut. So we really don't know what to expect. And Mitchell, as much as the power advantage is a thing, as long as Mitchell can keep him to his back, there's nothing he can really do. Just like we're talking in the Baranowski and Tafa fight. Really, Mitchell is probably going to look to get his back and sub him too. I could see back-to-back subs to start the main event, in all honesty. Or, yeah, not the main event, the main card, in all honesty. So give me Mitchell sub. Now we got Ziam and Nolan, man. Ziam has like very nasty striking. He has had an issue with wrestlers in the past, but the more and more we see him go up against wrestlers, the more and more we see him polish his skills as of late. He seems to be a whole different animal when it comes to defending takedowns and getting back up. So that is a good thing. And with Nolan, he's looked decent, but this is going to be the best fighter he's ever fought in his career. Like, he does look decent against cans. Like, he could be an aluminum can crusher, but can he be a metal crusher? You know what I mean? And I really don't think that's the case here. I think Ziam's going to be able to stay on his feet. And if he does, it's going to be lights out for Tom Nolan. So, give me Ziam here. Now we'll move on to the co-main, where we got Brandon Allen versus Shabazian. This one is a little up in the air for me. Where you got Brandon Allen on one side, who's just coming off of a huge win over DeRitter. And he smothered DeRitter the whole time. He took him out of his game. And that's honestly, just like the rest of the card that I've been preaching, when you could take a boxer, a nasty striker, and put him on his back and make it to where he can't get up, that nasty striking is nullified. Like, there's not going to be anywhere near as room for him to hit you if he's on his back. It's hard to hit from the back, you know what I mean? No, it ain't. I'm just kidding. But, honestly, in this one, Allen, he can box well, but he has a really crazy ground game, and will most likely go to look to choke Shabazian out. Where you got Shabazian, where he does have more power on the feet, but he has a bad takedown defense, but is really good at getting back to his feet. And if he could keep it standing up, I could see a way that Shabazian will knock Allen out. But if he can't get off his back, I could see Allen backpacking him and choking him out. So I think my pick for this one is going to have to be Allen sub or Shabazian knockout. It's really whatever way you lean. I think that's the way it'll go. So if you want to bet both, if you want to do a parlay and mix them, you know what I mean? I think that definitely is a good read. And then we'll move on to the main event of the evening. We got Bilal Muhammad versus Gabriel Bonfim. Now, if you don't know nothing about the Bonfim brothers, there's two of them. One is worse and one is better. This is the better brother. He's a good up and comer who still hasn't really fought the best comp, but he does have some credible wins under his belt. He has nasty striking, but he also has sub game. Like, as much as Bilal Muhammad is an ex-champion in this weight class, he's fought all the best guys in this weight class. He has a very high class of wrestling, but people tend to get up more often than not. Like, we seen when he defended the belt against Dalameda, he couldn't really get Dalameda to the ground, and when he does, dude's a punching bag, and he wears damage really well. So honestly, there's another one of them toss-up fights. I think I'm leaning more Bilal Muhammad on the point side, but I could really see Bonfim either grabbing a neck or knocking him out if he could keep him on the feet. But at the same time, Muhammad doesn't really go to sleep like that. So I think the way for Bonfim, it's straight up to play all three ways. I don't think submission's out of it. I don't think KO's out of it. And I really don't think points are out of it. But in the same sense, how's Bilal going to win? There's only one way Bilal wins, and it's by points. He doesn't knock people out. He doesn't sub them. He does get the occasional, you know what I mean, each one of them. But he's not somebody who, time and time again, you see him just knock out people, sub people. It's not like that. He's a point fighter. Straight up, he's a point fighter. And I really think I'm leaning, as I'm breaking it down and I'm talking about it, man, I just got to go with the experience, man. I got to go with Bilal. He's fought all these great guys, and I really think even if Bonfim were to get in there with Dalameda or get in there with Sean Brady, I don't think he's having the same success. Like, I really don't. Even though he lost to those two people that Bilal lost to Dalameda, I don't see Bonfim even giving him a fight like that. So, yeah, give me Bilal, man. Give me Bilal. 5 points, for sure. And yeah, those are my plays, or that's my picks. And now I'll break down some of my plays for y'all. I only have a few. I've been live betting quite a bit going into fights where we're betting props and rounds combos, bro, and it's been smacking. The first round knockout last week was huge. I mean, Zhang got knocked out, put to bed in the first round, and it definitely paid out. It was plus 1,600 just for a first round knockout for the underdog, and I'll take that every time. I love those live props. So let's go on and tell you some of the plays. My first play of the evening, I only did one prelim parlay, and this is where I'm sitting. We got Souza by points, Jordan Levitt by submission, and Bruno Silva by points. 5 to win you 199. That's a nice play. We'll move on to my cycle parlay of the night. Shout out Matty Betts on the cycle. If y'all don't know about Matty Betts, go check him out. He's always dropping cycles. That's 1 KO, 1 submission, 1 points. He don't know me yet, but he might know me in the future. You never know. My cycle of the day. We got Ziam by KO. Brendan Allen by submission. And Bilal Muhammad by points. 5 to win 157. That's another little come up. Throw the 10 on it and win you 100, win you 300. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not trying to hit little scratches like me and want to get that big money, go ahead and throw 10 on that. I do like that play a lot. Like, this is one of my favorite plays that I've made all day. Next, we got another parlay where we got Ziam by KO, Shabazian by KO, just to cover ourselves on if Shabazian can stay off the ground with Allen or get back up. Shabazian by KO, and then Bonfim by points. So we're kind of on the other side, other than keeping Ziam the same. We're kind of on the other side of those two fights that I said it could go either way. So that's something to keep in mind there. Now, we'll move on to one of our last plays of the night. where we got Luna KO over Bryce Mitchell. If Bryce takes some shots and can't keep Luna on the ground, he could really go to bed. As we've seen with people like Silva, or John Silva, whatever, he knocked Bryce Mitchell out cold with a knee. Like, he does take damage. Like, he doesn't take a lot of it to get him out of there, but his ground game usually saves him. But there's still a chance with Luna that he could knock him out in his debut. You got Brendan Allen by sub. Could also happen. And then Bilal Muhammed by points. I put 350 on it, win 177, man. Put you 5 on there. Go crazy with it. $250. Put 10 on it, go crazy with it. $520, you know what I mean? That's 52 to 1 odds right there. And then you got my final parlay of the evening for the UFC card tomorrow. This is a huge one. This is a strangulation parlay. This is 120 to 1 odds. I love this parlay, and I really might bet it even more on it because I got $3 on it to win about 400. I think I might throw another 5 on there, honestly, now that I'm looking at it. Baranowski by submission. You know he wants to nullify Tafa's striking and his energy. He's going to get him to the ground. He's going to grab his neck. Bryce Mitchell by submission. He made his own submission. He's different on that ground, man. He's a jiu-jitsu specialist that's going to look to get it done. And Gabriel Bonfim by submission, bro. That would be the sleeper right there of all of them to me. But honestly, you know that's what Bilal's going to want to do. He's going to want to take him down. What if he shoots in and Bonfim grabs the neck? What if he reverses a position on the ground and jumps on his back and backpacks him? You never really know. But that one, 120 to 1 odds, bro. If you put $2 on it, it's $240. If you put $3 on it, $360. You know, and so on and so forth. That is a play right there. That is a monster that really might pay this weekend. I'm excited for that one. I'll be watching for that one. So, yeah. That's the play. If you're going to listen to anything on this podcast, play that one. And then I told y'all I'm going to give y'all a play for tonight. For the NBA game tonight, we got the San Antonio Spurs against the Knicks, man. They're at the Spurs. They're already down 0-1. I don't see them losing 2 games at home back-to-back. Because if they do, they're in a dangerous, dangerous spot going back into the Garden, which is a hard place to win. So, I think this is what we got here. We got the Spurs on the money line because I'm so confident they get the dub tonight. Victor for 30 points. Victor Wembanyama, 30 points. He had 26 last game. He really was on a slower pace. I could see him picking it up and going for 35 tonight, but in all honesty, I'm going to go with 30. Fox is looking to bounce back. They know they need more out of De'Aaron Fox. I do see him getting 15 tonight. And then you got Vassell, who didn't do anything for the Spurs. But if you've been watching this whole playoffs, you know that Devin Vassell has been playing a really big role for the Spurs. And 10 points a game has been a pretty easy line for him to hit. So far here in the playoffs, he's been pretty consistent. So I got Vassell for 10, Fox for 15. Now, if you watch game 1, Dylan Harper had an out-of-body experience. This dude has to be one of the best backup point guards in the league right now. He's still super young. He's looking to make a name for himself, and I think he's going to continue to do that as he did with the last series. He's going to continue to do that into this series. I think 10 points for him is an easy ask, man. So Dylan Harper for 10. And for the final leg of this parlay, we went Spurs heavy. Spurs out of the wazoo. If you're riding with the Spurs tonight, ride with this parlay. Stephon Castle for 15 points, man. Now look, if this all happens, the way I see it is if these 5 things happen, like in the points, then the money line's going to happen. Like they all blend together. They all fit in what needs to happen for the Spurs to get this dub tonight. $10 to win you $250, man. 10 to win $250. I mean, we taking a shot in the dark. If we can start before UFC tomorrow with up $250 tonight, bro, we firing. Just know, if I do hit this tonight, I will be going live during the prelims tomorrow and giving out plays for each fight that I'm going with, because I will be live betting a little bit. But if I win the $250, I'm hammering UFC tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. And honestly, let's go Spurs. But that's all I got for y'all. This has been your boy, Skylar Game Time, Diddy Verts, man. And I just want to thank y'all for keeping rocking with me, still coming through, watching the podcast. Hey, share it to your friends, share it to your mama, share it to your grandmama, man. You never know. They might like your boy. They might like your boy. But anyways, I love y'all, man. Peace.